Welcome back, Legion. Today I want to talk to you guys about in-season training and what a good in-season program should look like. Firstly, we've got to define what in-season training is. So is it a tournament? Is it a one-off competition? Is it a season that goes for more than 20 weeks? Realistically, they're all still competition, and this is what differentiates in-season and pre-season to us, is that pre-season does have some sport-specific training, but there's no competition against opposition. Whereas in-season, or competition phase, we're competing to win, we're competing against other organisations, other athletes. So from a strength and conditioning point of view, all we're trying to do is complement the sport-specific training. So the majority of the training that you do should actually be sport-specific skills training. So if you're dedicating 10 hours to your sports, which includes a game, really 9 of them should be actually sport-specific training and game. The other hour is your little bit of top-up, maybe a little bit of recovery type conditioning, some strength training. These are just arbitrary numbers, but the percentage you can see there is about 90% and 10%. And that's realistically what we're looking for at this time. So the idea is to reduce our soreness and promote some recovery during this phase. If we can maintain some strength throughout a season or competition phase, this is going to be critical. So with our strength training, the way we can kind of achieve this without creating more muscle soreness and more muscle damage that we're probably already getting from our competition, is we keep the volume quite low and we can keep the intensities relatively high, but again, we might need to adjust this depending on what the competition is kind of dishing up to us. At the end of the day, it's just about recovering and getting back. But it is really important to keep this strength in. If you've worked really hard in the off-season and pre-season, it makes no sense to stop completely in-season. In-season kind of keeps this resilience. It allows you to keep going. It builds a bit of a base, bit of a resistance, one to injury, to fatigue, etc. So it almost actually aids in recovery in an interesting way. You don't want to be pulling up sore or fatigue from these sessions, but you want to do enough to keep yourself going. What this will kind of lead to is consistency over time. If we think about it, we've had a really good off-season, led into a great pre-season, and we've seen significant improvements in our athleticism, and we just hold on and maintain that throughout the regular season, and there's only a minimal amount of drop-off, if any. When we start the next off-season, we're actually going to start from a better place than when we did the year before. So now we can build again. And now if we start to think about long-term athletic development, we do this over a magnitude of years, we're going to be in pretty good shape by the time we get to 5, 8, 10 years of a sporting career. So it's important to remember competition phase, most important thing is competing and getting your body prepared either week to week or game to game, depending on what kind of style of competition it is, and just being resilient enough to do that repeatedly. Again, week to week, game to game. If you've done the work in the off-season and pre-season, it'll transfer really well in season. The problem sometimes occurs, people get a little bit worried about in-season training because they don't want to get too sore and fatigued. Well, if you haven't done a good pre-season, it is going to make it quite challenging to then implement it in season. So you want to kind of lead the phases into each other. I will say though, if you do it, you're really giving yourself the absolute best chance to stay on the track as often as possible. And even if something bad does happen, like an unfortunate injury, because you have that base there, you're more likely to come back a little bit quicker and maybe potentially even better. Alright, thanks guys. Cheers.